beautiful. Welcome to Gems and Pearls with Love. I hope all of you precious ladies are doing well. As you can probably tell already, this is going to be a podcast style video. But don't you worry, it has just as much valuable gems as any other style video. If you are hopping on here for the first time, firstly, hello, welcome. My name is Caitlin Clarice. Currently, I'm doing a series where I'm talking about things wives may do that may be disrespectful to their husband. This is part 9, but don't worry, it's not the kind of series where you have to listen to the previous videos in order to understand this one. Each video has its own topic. So far we've talked about how we talk to our husband when it comes to the words we say, the volume, the tone that we use, how we talk about our husband. Are we tearing down his reputation all in the name of venting our own feelings about our husband, etc. We've also talked about the silent treatment, comparing him to other men, that big scary S word, submission. And in the previous video, I talked about inappropriate relationships with other men and how dangerous that can be. I have a playlist on my channel dedicated to this series, so after you listen to this one, you can go ahead and check out that playlist for more. To those of you who have been here and have been listening, firstly, I want to say thank you guys so much for your support by watching, listening, and pressing the like button. Thank you. It all helps so very much. You may be thinking, I don't know, maybe you're just enjoying this video and don't even realize this series. You're enjoying the series and maybe don't even realize that we are already in part 9. But in case you are thinking like, wow, when is this series ending? Well, soon, because it's a 12-part series. So just a few more videos left and then we can start talking about other things. Okay, enough of all of that. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about complaining about our husband's income and how that can feel very disrespectful. Here's the thing. It is in men's nature to be providers, even if they don't even know it. Men who suppress this part of them are usually unhappy deep down because it is how they were made. It's who they were created to be. I want to make sure and say right off the bat that does not mean that women cannot provide, right? First of all, some women are in situations as single women, as single mothers, where they need to provide income and they are actually the main providers for their household, especially if they are a single mom. However, that does not mean that men were not designed or created to be providers and protectors of their family, of the households. Because this is how men were made, a lot of men unfortunately measure their value in how well they are providing for the woman of their life, for their family. And I say unfortunate because their value is in Christ, not in how much money they make or whatever title they may carry in a workplace or in a career. But that just goes to show how important it is to them. Some men are willing to go at any lengths to provide for their loved ones. And when I say any lengths, I mean they're willing to do illegal and dangerous things to make sure that their household is provided for. Of course, that doesn't make those choices right. But again, I'm just trying to show you guys how much it matters to men, how important it is for them that they are providing. Well, when they are not suppressing that desire that's within them, of course. And speaking of suppressing that, again, as you're listening, you may think of a few men that you know that are not stepping up as providers. They are sitting back and allowing the woman to be doing all the providing, etc. But that does not mean that they are not completely miserable within themselves. That does not mean that they are trying to find other outlets to try to fill in that void that they have by trying to ignore and suppress what is natural for them. Because men were created to be providers, they usually take their job, their career, business, whatever they do to make a living very seriously, and it is usually a very delicate spot for them. A lot of us women actually have a hard time with understanding that, like, something will happen in the workplace and they take it so hard, or if they were to lose their job, they take it so much harder than we typically would as women. And sometimes we have a hard time understanding, like, why does it matter so much? Why it seems like he's overreacting about this. And that is why, like, their work does mean a lot to them because of that need to provide. I have even come to find that even so much as suggesting, or maybe whether you're doing it jokingly or seriously, but just suggesting that your husband may not have enough money for something, whether you're saying it to him or to others, that alone can cause him to feel disrespectful. That alone can hurt him. Now we got to get really serious here. Okay, I gave you a little bit of kind of background information for you to understand why it is so important for men when it comes to their careers they have, when it comes to them providing. But for you ladies to now realize, right, that it is very ungrateful of us. It's insensitive and disrespectful to put our man down who is actually trying his best to provide simply because he's not giving you every single one of your desires. When your husband is doing his best to provide for you and your family and have your needs met, you should be grateful. You should be showing him that you appreciate him. I am not talking about a lazy man who's sitting on the couch, who maybe lost a job months ago and won't even try to go find a job, just sitting there doing nothing with his life. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about a hard-working man giving his all. And this man needs and desires your understanding and your patience. Not everyone can start at the top. Most men, they have to start somewhere and work their way up. You, my love, are hitting him where it truly hurts. When you complain, whine, nag, and compare him to others, make sarcastic remarks. To add insult to injury, some of you do this in front of others. If you want to have that, brand new Gucci bag or whatever, or to have, extra vacations, that's because those are the things I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about you not being able to have over your head and food to feed your family. I'm talking about the luxury things in life. And there's nothing wrong with necessarily liking or enjoying the luxuries in life. However, if it's something that you want to do and your husband is at a place right now where he cannot financially provide that, then why don't you figure out a way how to add to the household income? Whether that is by you getting a job outside the home or by you doing something in the home. Even as a homemaker myself, someone who doesn't have a job outside of the home, I see nothing wrong with finding ways to make an income. Matter of fact, I actually encourage it. I myself have 2 businesses that I work on from home. To be honest, and I'm going to be real with you, I believe that really we need to just learn how to be content. That is actually biblical for us to be content with what we have. A lot of the times we feel like we don't have what we should have because we are too busy watching other people on social media and them going on their vacations and them doing this and them getting that. And you're comparing to that person and this person. A lot of us that think that we do not have a whole lot more than we could ever need. A lot of us, especially if you're living somewhere like, America, Canada, Europe, etc., like a lot of us actually live a very luxurious life comparison to what a lot of people in different countries are living, and they look at us thinking we're like super rich, but yet we think we don't have enough. Because why? Because your husband cannot afford to give you the latest iPhone. I mean, really, material things are not what makes people happy. It's not. You might feel a sense of joy, a sense of excitement, a sense of a temporary happiness, a hit of dopamine when you get something, you get a gift, you get these things, but it's not what brings true happiness. And if that was the case, and it does, then every single rich person right? Every celebrity would be completely happy, full of joy. And as most of us know, that's usually not the case. Matter of fact, a lot of them are on drugs and depressed, unfortunately, right? Happiness it's not something like, when I say happiness, I mean like lasting joy, right? It's not something that we can find in a store. Yes, going on vacation is wonderful. Making memories, that's lovely. If you can do that, that's fine. However, if that's not something you can do right now, then learn to be content. There is nothing wrong with wanting nicer things. I don't think that's a bad thing as long as your heart is in the right place and as long as you are content and grateful with what you do have. Be happy with what you do have and where you are now on the way to where you are going. There is nothing wrong with you sitting down with your husband and discussing a new business idea or a side hustle, right? As a couple, brainstorming ways that you guys can bring money in, sitting down and making plans and having goals for your future and how you can expand and do more. I mean, God knows that being in debt is very difficult emotionally, mentally, in every kind of way. And that can be weighed on your marriage. So yeah, of course, sit down, plan things out, figure out a way that, more income can be brought to the household. That is good. There's no problem with that. However, it is a problem when, my love, you're being disrespectful and you're hitting him below the belt by making him feel that what he does is not enough. I just want, you ladies to not make the mistakes that either I have made or even others have made, right? I'm not saying that every single thing that I talk about on this channel that I've done. Some things I'm guilty of, some things not so much. But I don't want you guys to be unaware of how much it affects him when you want something and you, instead of just saying, okay, no problem, we'll get that eventually or whatever, or babe, it's okay, we'll work it out. Instead, you're there sulking, right? You're showing how disappointed you are. That alone really weighs on his spirit. As a wife, as a helpmate, you are to be the one to be cheering him on and letting him know, babe, I believe in you. Whatever goals you have, whatever ambitions you have that you want to get to do in the future, I believe in you. And then, of course, thanking him for what he does. I don't know of anybody who's tired of hearing thank you and how much they are appreciated for what they do, because a lot of the times we don't say these things often enough. We're too busy focused on what we don't have that we forget to be thankful for what we do have, right? We're too busy thinking about, whatever it is that you want that your husband is not saying out right now, that you're forgetting to thank him for the fact that he worked a 10-hour shift for the sake of making sure your needs are met and food's on the table. The thing is, I've come to realize that a lot of us ladies, we don't recognize how much our words have impacted our husband because they do not show their emotions the way that we would, right? When we're hurt or we're sad, we might cry or we might, get angry or do whatever we're doing. And because sometimes they just don't say anything, there's no reaction, we think it does not bother them. And honestly, I gotta tell you, my love, that is not the case. A lot of the times they are hurt, but they just don't show it in the way that we expected. I want you ladies to know that this is, when it comes to making money, comes to his job, career, etc., you thinking that it's not all that, except anything on that topic when it comes to those things of him providing, it is a very sensitive topic for men. So whenever you are approaching the topic, and I'm not to say that you're supposed to never approach a topic, sometimes there needs to be some conversation that needs to be happening, especially if there's actual important needs that are being neglected, for example. So it's not that we cannot have these conversations. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you going and talking about new business ideas or side hustles, etc., etc. I just want you to be aware, my love, that when you do approach these topics, do so very gently. So that is all I have for you for this video. In the next part 10, we're going to be talking about allowing your friends and family members to disrespect your husband. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and go ahead and share it. Let me know your thoughts below. Until next time, sparkle like the gems of wisdom that you've got. Bye-bye.